Friends, what is a habit? Habit is acquired activities or acquired behavior that has been done regularly until it becomes involuntary. The habits take place without our knowledge because we have been regularly practicing it since very long period. There might be good habits, there might be bad habits. Habits decide or show your personality, your character, your feelings, your thoughts. It is a very important tool to know more about you. If you want to develop your personality, then it's very important that you have that control over your habits. Just check out what did you do since morning. What did you do when the alarm was ringing? When did you get up from your bed? How did you brush? When did you have your breakfast? When did you get ready? All these are simple habits that takes place. This is no, without our knowledge we will be doing it because it has become a regular routine that we have been doing since long. Habit can be divided into three parts: it, bit, a bit, and the last one, the habit. It, HABIT. In that it, when we do anything for the first time, we just say it's a very small thing. It is for the first time that we are doing. Just consider smoking. It, we consider it is very small thing that we are doing. It is for the first time we are doing. It doesn't harm. Then the next, BIT, habit, IT, then the bit, BIT. We are smoking a bit more than the it, it. First we had done it thinking that it is just for the first time, and then the second time or the third time it has become bit, means to say that we are just smoking a bit, we're just having the alcohol a bit, everything is bit. So after that it becomes a bit, HABIT. In that it becomes a bit, little more than the bit. What does that mean? If you are smoking or drinking 2 or 3 times, it is more than that, a bit. We are just smoking a bit, we are just drinking a bit. If you are having tobacco, anything, it becomes a bit more than the bit. Hopefully you are understanding it. We don't know when this bit becomes a bit, and when this a bit continuously becomes a pattern in our activities, in our behavior, then it becomes our habit. It becomes involuntary. We won't even get to know when this a bit became a habit completely. So in the habit, HABIT, first it was it, then it became bit, BIT, then it became a bit, then it became habit. So I'm just showing you the sequence how it takes place. We just think it is for the first time, then we think it is bit, then we think it is only a bit that we are drinking or smoking, then involuntarily it becomes your habit. Let me explain you all these things based on the scientific parameters. Any habit you do, a brain takes or understands it in things of stimulus and the or stimulus or the trigger and the response we do. A habit is based on the stimulus and the trigger. Whatever behavior or whatever actions we take place, there is a trigger for that and there is a response for that. You need to consider when you are doing any action, what is the trigger, what is the response, what is the stimulus that is taking place, and what are the results that it would take place. When you consider these things and you're doing this habit, any behavior, any action, then slowly this trigger and the response, the bond between this trigger and the response becomes stronger. And as you go on continuously doing these activities, these actions, these behaviors, the relationship between the stimulus and the response becomes more stronger, more permanent. When this relationship between the trigger and the response becomes more stronger, then the brain, when any habit is done, any character, any behavior, any action is done, then the brain itself creates the trigger and decides the response. It decides it itself, because now it has become a regular pattern which has become involuntary, and accordingly these involuntary actions patterns takes place, then we don't have control over it. So before it becomes a habit, we need to have control over it. We need to see what type of habits we are having. Means to say, just consider or note down what all activities you are doing from past 1 week. When do you get up? Do you reach your office, your school on time? Do you do all the activities on a proper time? How are you maintaining your health? Are you having a very good lifestyle? How are your thinking patterns? How are your thoughts? How do you meet with other people? How are you maintaining relationships with other people? You need to make a list of all these things, and you need to check out what good habits you are having, what bad habits you are having. And if you are having bad habits, you need to change it to having good habits. If a person is getting up early, doing all activities properly, then he will soon see that he will be having good future. If a person is getting up late, is very procrastinating, then you will see that he will be having his future very dark. We cannot assure him about his future. Similarly, there are good habits and bad habits which affect our actions and our results. How we have a good life or a bad life. If we are having good habits, then you would see that we are reaching on time, we would be having good health, we would be having good lifestyle, we would be having good relationships with people. And when we are having bad habits, we would see that we would be having more loss in our life, we would not maintain a good health, we would be procrastinating, we would be delaying our works, we would not be completing all our works on a proper time, we would not be maintaining a proper relationship. See, all these things have a very big impact on having good personality. If you want a good personality, then you need to maintain all these parameters, all these actions, and you need to change from bad habits to good habits. And to know more about how you can change from bad habits to good habits, it will be followed in next videos. Until then, thank you.